about how, give yourselves a round of applause. You know what? Yeah, cheers to you guys. You know, it's a crazy time to be alive right now. So we're getting through it together, and I appreciate you being here. So before we get started, I want to have a little ongoing game with you guys. I know Liz said no heckling, but just for me, we're going to play a little game, because I wrote about half this stuff on my phone last night, so I'm going to leave my phone right here. And I'm going to try to remember all of it, but if I forget, if I start reaching for my phone, if I touch it, you can go, ah! It's going to be really hard for me, but I think it'll help me grow as a performer. So let's practice that a couple times. So I'm doing my thing, and I get there, and I'm like, I know. Well, and then I have to be on it, because otherwise I just stand here awkwardly and everyone gets mad. So I'm going to get started now. But, yeah, so I want to start with, you're all looking up here and you're thinking, what is this random-ass freshman doing hosting the playground? That doesn't make sense. But the reason it worked, the reason I got this is that Liz, Zach, and I were talking after the last show when I performed, and we just decided that given the current political state of everything, it would just make sense for a dumb, loud man to take the job that a woman was clearly much more qualified for. Who's pumped about the election results? Sit down, Tim. Yeah. Was anyone else up until like the wee hours of the morning, like 3:34, watching it, seeing how everything was turning out? Yeah, not me. I went to bed at 11:30. I took a boom, out. See, I figured either things would be going my way, I'm gonna want to get a little tipsy, have a little party, and I'm gonna want energy for that, or 6 flights and a run off the top of Bird Library also takes a good amount of energy. Sleep is going to be important there. And what that meant is I woke up the next morning, and I was under the impression, I think a lot of us were, who went to bed early. They were like, what, we won't know the results for a couple days, so it doesn't matter. So I figured, oh, whatever, I'll check my phone. So I walked to the bathroom, I sit down to stuff the ballot box, so to speak. It's a horrible image. And I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling and I'm just like, oh no. Oh no. You know, this is one of the moments you remember for the rest of your life. And I'm sitting on the fucking toilet? Yeah. No, so it's ridiculous. That's a memory I'll always have, so shout out that. What was I talking? I was lying about how I got this job. So what actually happened is Liz came up to me after the show and was just being very friendly, very nice. She gave me a high five, and when she did, I just took everything from her. The job, the major, the boyfriend, hey cutie. The mom, give it up for Liz's mom who's here tonight. And along with all that, I'm so proud to announce that instead of Liz, I will be going to New York City to intern for Saturday Night Live next year. I love New York City. Is anyone from the city in here tonight? Anyone? Yes. Woo! Yeah, that's right. No, I love New York City. I've been there 2 times, and I think both times the most memorable part has been the plane ride. Me personally, one thing about me, I love sitting next to strangers on planes. Call me a freak, call me a monster, spit in my face, pull my hair. No. Not yet. No, call me a freak, but I think it's really fun. I think a lot of the vacations I've been on, some of the most memorable parts are the friends I've made along the way. Aww. Like the incest Mormon. So, you know, sometimes you sit down next to people on planes and they get this look in their eyes like, if you look at me, I'll fucking die. That was not the case with her. This girl was a chatterbox, which I love. So we're sitting there and we're introducing ourselves. She's like, I'm from Utah. I'm like, that's cool. I'm from Minnesota. And she goes, oh, Minnesota. Broccoli on pizza. What? No! No, I said Minnesota, not an insane asylum. So, you know, I gotta defend my state's honor. So I shoot back with my best Utah-based joke. I'm like, yeah, Utah, land of... What the fuck is Utah? No, that's the next part. So, what's... Thank you. Can anyone give me a fact about Utah that does not involve Mormons or Salt Lake? Anything. This is a legitimate question. If you have a fact, Utah fact.
They love soda. They have a ton of soda shops. They have really good ballroom dancing, and half the people from Dancing with the Stars are from Utah.
Zion National Park.
Woo! Fuck. Okay. So turns turns out I'm just an uninformed idiot. But in the context, the goal was that no one else was supposed to know anything about Utah, but whatever. It's fine. No, I asked. I shouldn't have asked. God! Okay. But I figured now I have a goal for this conversation. I gotta develop some good old-fashioned harmful generalizations. And this went well for me. So I learned a couple things about people from Utah. The first is that everyone from Utah, there's this tendency to, instead of bring your keys with you like a normal person, they'll just leave their car keys on the dashboard. Which means a fun little pastime, a prank is you go and you steal your friend's car. That's it. They just fucking Grand Theft Auto each other and we're chill about that. Like, can you imagine what would happen if you were in New York and you were like, oh, my friend left his keys on there, I'm just gonna bang! Dead. So we learned about that. We learned that everyone there has at least 14 to 18 horses, which is great, so shout out Patches. But the best thing I learned about Utah was the app Sprout. Now, Sprout isn't the actual name of the app. In researching for this joke, I scoured the internet, one Google search, and I couldn't find this, but I swear this is absolutely real. This is something I saw with my own eyes. I am not lying to you. This is all honest. It's this little app, little green leaf growing out from a green background, and it has a couple little features. It has a calendar, so you can plan things. It has a daily prayer app, so you can feel close to Heavenly Father. And it has a weather app, so you can not get too wet when you're praying to Heavenly Father. But the best part, my favorite part of this app, was right in the middle. There's a little tree, and when you click on it, it takes you to this widget to make sure you don't accidentally do incest. Yeah, that's what I said. And so you go and you connect in shock. You go and you connect like Ancestry.com or something to this thing, and then you can pair it with other people's apps, and it'll tell you how closely you're related. Not if you're related, how closely. The way my seat buddy explained it, as long as it's like fourth, you're fine. Cool. And this isn't like a theoretical thing. This is a real thing that people use in day-to-day life. So she was telling me about a time where she went on a date with a guy and they held hands for 2 hours. 2 hours? Okay. And so they go on the hands and then go on the date, hold hands, and then they check their app and they're direct cousins. Like, that's grandma. That's Mima. Like, that's Gam Gam. That's Nana. That's grandma. That's... Anyway, so then there's another time where she's going and she's like days away from asking her big crush to the school dance, and she sees him at a family reunion. Can you imagine? Like, you have your crush and you're like, wow, oh my gosh, what are you doing here? This is crazy. And they're like, yeah, I'm just here with my dad, Mark. And you're like, you mean Uncle Mark? What are people doing in Utah? I mean, I guess it's better than cows, right, guys? Speaking of cows, your first know how to have fun. I'm considered the funny friend all the time. But I treasure the days from when I want to rest and isolate myself from outside or anything that'll drain my energy. Now, this has proved to be true 100 times over, and I'm so excited to introduce you, making his playground debut, my very funny friend. That was showed to me during the break. This is the family search tree, and this is the app. It's the app, guys. It's the app. It's real. It's absolutely real. Family search tree. There's a little tree on it. I was wrong. It's a tree, and it was shown to me by Anna. Where's Anna?
Hi.
Oh, there's Anna. My buddy from Minnesota. We have another Minnesota in the house. Always good to see. But yeah, so it's a real app. I promise. Just wanted to improve my credibility there. So we're gonna get back into the comedy in a moment here, but before we do, I want to play a quick game. So we're gonna play Try Not to Laugh, a little classic there. So I'm gonna read some jokes I wrote that don't quite fit in the set, just kind of one-liners. And before we do, I want you to take a deep breath in and just like fill your cheeks up and just try not to laugh. Like I'm not looking for pity here. Just try not to laugh. You got this. Lock in. All right, here we go. What do mathematicians do on farms? Tractor polynomials. Try not. What do you call a pill that makes you so calm that you shit your pants? A chillaxative. What do you call someone who's not sure if they believe in omelets? Agnostic. Thank you. That was the worst 40 seconds of my life. That's called rejection training, and it's something that one of my acting teachers told me to try out. Are you uncomfortable? Because I'm uncomfortable. Yeah. It was a lie. That's not real. Yeah, sorry. But let's use the tension to let our whole bodies release into the moment of the comedy. That's what they'd say. Your next comedian tonight went to high school in a town that is famous for its apple picking festival. Now, I hate to see the Doctor Festival, right, guys? Since I've gotten to Syracuse University, my sense of humor and the wit and intelligence of my comedy have developed substantially. And this person is the person from whom I learned it all. So if you like my stuff tonight, high five her, and if you don't, well, you can direct your tomatoes that away. No, really, I'm very, very grateful to this person who gave me a chance and let me write for Live from Studio B, which has been life-changing. Thank you for believing in me, thank you for the encouragement, and thank you for the bong hit that absolutely flipped gravity. And the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight until I Everyone, give an absolutely steaming round of applause to my boss and probably the reason I'm here, Sarah Wells. Always wait for December to put up the tree and everything. We have a plastic tree, and we have the normal ornaments that we put up, like the things that we have from various events. Then all of our family members also have individual ornaments. Like I have this one that's like a little pasta boy skating around. if you're wondering what a little pasta boy skating around looks like, I'm not going to tell you. You get to imagine that. That's my holiday gift to you. Pasta boy skating around. But one year I was having some sort of beef with my family, and I got really mad at my mom. And what I did is I was like, I'm gonna fuck her up. I was like 8. I was like, I'm gonna fuck her up. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take all her ornaments off the tree. Yeah, I've done some fucked up shit. So I walked into the room with most of it. I didn't know that word at the time. I was really on the angriest. Just grabbed her ornaments. I was like, Christmas 1881. 18. Not that old. Christmas Eve 1981. Floor. So then she just found the next day and was like, Quinn, did you take all my Christmas ornaments? And I was like, it was probably the cats. I don't know. Your next comedian, his first memory is seeing a monster truck. How metal is that? Like, I was talking to people about fun facts about themselves, and most people were like, oh, this is my major, this is where I'm from, here's the STI test I'm waiting on, like, just like that. But this guy was like, my army crawled out of the womb, and then tried for Jack Chandler, and the doctor tried to slap me, I decked the motherfucker. Which is awesome. And the only thing that can take this guy down, complete badass, is a single nut. Shout out to an allergic king. Yeah, but Zach has also been just so helpful and has been really supportive and gotten me here, and usually waves at me in the street now. So I'm super grateful for that. So without further cashew, I give you my boss and probably the reason I'm here tonight, Zach Nemirovsky. What are our favorite Thanksgiving dishes? What do we like?
Apple pie.
Apple pie. Soggy bake. Stuffing. I don't know. Just dreaming about soggy bake. I don't have any jokes about that. I guess I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm gonna touch my phone because I didn't memorize his last 2 minutes. So. Oh, I didn't touch it.
Heavenly shower when I get
Alright, I'm not gonna know that you deserve the next 2, so you can just boo me as soon as I walk up. Alright. Everyone, your penultimate comedian is part of a very exciting online series you may be familiar with. Their success is noted across Instagram and YouTube and has brought laughter and joy to so many people across the country. I am, of course, talking about High Education, premiering May 28th, 2019. Quote, a satirical series about drugs and higher ed. When I reached out, I said, hey, what's a fun fact about you? And they said, yo, Quinn, fun fact. And that was it. So I scrolled back through their whopping 735 Instagram posts to see what gets them up in the morning. And apparently it's High Education, a comedy premiering on YouTube about drugs and higher ed. I also found puppet shows, gallons of stand-up comedy, and a little something called American High, which just sounds like a High Education spin-off to me. This was also the person who got me to my first open mic night where I almost performed. And it's just a wonderful guy. So please give a huge round of applause to my boss and probably the reason I'm here tonight, Tommy Armstrong. Okay, what are the odds this mic has mono now? What's our position?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Not contagious.
It's mono. If you spit on a mic, it's contagious.
Yeah, non-contagious unless you kiss, but I feel like I'd rather have someone kiss me with my harmonica into my mouth. You know? I don't know. Can you imagine like the date's getting hot and you're like, hey, wanna go back to my place? It's like, yeah, and you leave in there just like adding that to the list of moves. Too late, you didn't catch me. Your final comedian for the night describes themselves as, quote, not a student, unfortunately. Quick poll, who here is really jazzed about being a student right now? Yeah. I love writing essays until 3 a.m. or taking an edible before a lecture because fork it. Or like when you're in the library and you're just concentrating so hard that you piss yourself and you don't stop until the cute librarian who's like cute in an old person way but also in like an I would way. Maybe that's just me. No, but they're right, we're all super lucky to get to go to Syracuse University, the Syracuse University, and this next comedian, if we're being honest, at this point, doesn't have too much going for them other than this project that they're working on, American High. Tommy does that! Tommy does. You think they're like friends? Anyway, this guy, jokes aside, so let's all be kind tonight. It's nervous, I get it, but he's been super kind to me. I talked to him about wallpaper for half an hour, and I think he has my contact saved in his phone. So all the way from New Orleans, my boss, and probably the reason I'm here tonight. Ideally.